Yo, hello everybody. So, I've got a very serious question for you. It's a very interesting question. The question is, are you willing to ask for help? Are you willing to be vulnerable? Let's be honest, you guys. Life is actually kind of stressful sometimes, and in a lot of ways, we are vulnerable to the vicissitudes of life. Things happen that we can't predict, and in a lot of ways, we are dependent, I think, on our social environment. We are dependent on our circumstances, etc. And I've noticed that there is a lot of freedom to be really lived out and expressed fully in the way that we basically make ourselves emotionally vulnerable to the people in our lives. And this is super duper important, I think, to just being a healthy person. Like our physiological health in this profound and intimate way depends on our relational health. So if we're in that stressful marriage or that stressful relationship, then in a lot of ways we are more vulnerable to disease. So with that all aside, are you willing to ask for help? Are you willing to be vulnerable? I've noticed that the more I'm willing to basically express myself and make my own feelings and thoughts known, really in a public way. Like YouTube is really interesting, but there's not a reciprocity here that grounds this. But when I'm able to go out to people and speak to people and listen and really express what it is that is on my mind, what is important to me, what seems to be most essential really to my own life and other people's lives, there is a deep felt response. There is meaning, there is energy, and I think there's health. And I wonder how much how much suffering in this world could be prevented if people were willing to ask for help earlier on in the process. You see what I'm saying here? That there's like this, we think about disease, and we can think about disease in the context of its development, and we can think about how we can prevent disease through lifestyle choices, through dietary choices. But what I'm kind of referring to is I'm drawing an analogy here between the ways that we sort of choose to live our lives, and thinking about that in the context of the psychosocial. So if we're willing to be vulnerable to others, if we're willing to kind of like ask for help when we most need it, then we, I think, can celebrate a deeper sense of meaning in life and be more resilient. Now, I think it would only be fair to do a brief analysis of the opposite pole. If we are only asking for help and we fail to take personal responsibility, if we never actually take the time to try to investigate our own lives, to take a very real look at ourselves, but we always kind of refer to the other or those outside of ourselves, then we are struggling from a lack of authenticity. And I think this could be equally as devastating in some respect. So I think the key message I'm trying to communicate to you guys is that we have to learn how to be less self-dependent. We should self, and we should self enough in the world. But it seems that the selfhood, that process of showing up and asserting the self, is only best grounded within the process of relating. And we relate when we become dependent, when we are vulnerable, when we share, when there's intimacy, when we feel like we are literally part of one another. this is, I think, what we are designed for. So if you think that you are designed for this, let me know, comment, like the video, and if you want to see more from me, please subscribe. And just a brief update, just finished my summer semester. Within the next month and a half, I'm going to be putting in my graduate application and getting letters of references. So hopefully within, if things go to plan, maybe in about a year, I can start my coursework to become a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So I'm excited about that. So, I appreciate your support. I'll keep you updated along the way. Like I said in another video, I think YouTube, for me, as I show up to it in the way I like, in the way I most desire, is just such a wonderful form of expression for me. So I appreciate your support, and I will see you in a new video soon. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.